Alright everybody, and welcome back to the Break Zone. I'm JT. Thank you for joining us today as we give you live coverage of the Meta Potion Circuit. Event number 4 here at Just Flip TCG in San Jose, California. Like we've seen in the first couple rounds on our featured match, Lightning is prevalent here as an element in our meta. We're seeing a lot of Alcid plays, a lot of Onion Knight plays, Amons and Odin's flying all over the place. So, as we continue our coverage, let's see if a lot of players continue to bring lightning power with them through these matches, or are we finally going to see a counter? Are we finally going to see Earth show up and stop a lot of that lightning, because Earth forwards are usually a lot larger than 5,000 damage they're going to get you. Are we going to see Water with some Minwoos or, Cecils? Are we going to see any of those counters that Lightning predominantly struggles against? So, it's going to be interesting to see, and we're going to go ahead and jump into our next match between Ronald and Brian. So, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe or follow us, at the Break Zone, and give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. If you like what we're doing, go ahead and give us a comment, and stick around while we cover the next match in this event. Alright everybody, welcome back. Again, I'm JT. Welcome to the Break Zone as we cover the next event, the next round here in our event number 4 at the Meta Potion Circuit here in San Jose, California. We have 18 players here today. It is a lot of players here. We have a lot of great competition. Some of the best players in all of the nation are here. We got Brian Gerby and Ronald playing here. We got a lot of top 20 players here today from the Nationals. Looks like Brian's going to go first. Let's see if he decides to keep or if he's going to play. It looks like he's going to go ahead and keep. It's a strong hand. I like the fact that he has that Vincent. I don't particularly... Oh, he's going to go ahead and go straight into the legendary Vincent. Wow, that's a strong move right there. It's going to really put Ronald at a disadvantage. I like the play, though. I like it. It's going to be hard to get rid of that guy. He can't be broken by anything that, that doesn't deal damage. So let's go ahead and take a look at, the legendary Vincent. I really enjoyed playing this card. I like it. I think it's one of the best cards in the game currently. So we have... Wow, we have Ronald playing Water Earth. He's going to go right into the Tama, into Artemisian. He's going to go ahead and pitch two cards. He pitched 2 cards to play. He's going to put some cards on the bottom so he can draw the Artemisian. He's going to go and pass his turn. Wait, hold on. Looks like he might have something else he wants to play here. Nope. Brian's going to go ahead and draw. He draws into a Rigdia and what looks like to be another Vincent. Wow, he's definitely going to hold on to those Vincent. So long as he has that, he's safe on the end. So he does 1 point of damage over to Ronald, and he is on the board. It's a good starting hand, good starting play. He's going to keep and rebuild his hand. I like that play right now. Ronald has to deal with this Vincent. Does he have a way to deal with this Vincent? He's already on his back feet. He's playing Water Earth. It's a little bit slower. He needs some time to kind of set up his particular backup line. Playing, Water, you need a particular backup line. The Artemisia helps, but later down the road, it's taking up a very, very valuable spot in your backup line. He drops the Minwoo. He's setting up. Brian needs to take this opportunity to do as much damage as possible before those forwards comes out. Oh, he does. Wow, he flips over a Brabon. No forward to choose. It's a feel-good moment right there. That Brabon doesn't do anything. Brian's got a lot of cards in his hand. He's got a lot of removal. He can't play that Alcid right now. He won't be getting anything. He actually literally can't play it. It's not a legal target. He has no forward to use. He's got that Odin. Wow, he's going to pitch a Odin. He's going to play the Rigdia. Because you can still play the Rigdia. You just can't play the Alcid combo because you have no forward to choose. I like that. He's going to draw into something else that he can play with that. So, that puts Ronald at 2 points of damage. And Brian, we see it, Brian's starting off strong here. Both players 2-0 in this event. So it's good to see, these guys battle it out. Ronald is kind of on the back end here. He needs a forward out. But Brian's already ready for those forwards. He's waiting for those forwards because the forwards that Ronald's playing is going to advance Brian's game state, actually. There we go. We got a guy. He's loves to see that right now, because one, you're using CP to play, and what is he going to do now? He's going to go ahead and draw. There we go. We see him draw an Onion Knight, and he's gonna get ready to play the Owl Cid into the Onion Knight, getting rid of his guy and swinging in for 2 points of damage. He's gonna have to drop some cards to do this, but he does have a lot of cards to play. He definitely wants to keep those Vincents though. Those Vincents are going to be really, really helpful, though it's going to be really expensive to use. He's just going to go ahead and play the Odin. He's going to get rid of the Onion Knight. Wow, I would have actually just played the Owl Cid into the Onion Knight. He's going to get a Titan with that, and it's going to dull him. He's going to get the 2 points of damage, but I would have just flooded the board at that point. Wow, he flipped over Delita, putting Ronald at 4 points of damage. I enjoy that. I mean, he still got the end point. He still got where he wanted to get to. He plays the WRO member. I would have much rather play the Owl Cid into the Onion Knight, breaking him that way and saving the Odin for a much more opportune target. He's gonna get a point of damage here, which is fine. He's okay with that. That's not a big deal for him right now. But what worries me is that Ronald has a chance to reload his forwards. It looks like that's exactly what he's gonna do with a Vincent into a Yuffie. Good play. Get to play that Yuffie free. But right now, I think it's time for a death penalty. Now that he has enough of those guys out, a 4. Yeah, it's 4, 3, 2. He can go ahead and break 2 of those. He needs to be 7. So let's see what he can do here. Is he going to go ahead and do... he's been holding onto that Vincent in his hand. Again, I think if he was able to get the Owl Cid into the Onion Knight, he'd have 4 forwards out to 3. So he's going to go ahead and attack that. Oh, nope. He's going to go ahead and do the death penalty right here. He's going to break Guy and Vincent with the death penalty. He's been saving that since turn 1. He's going to go ahead and... Is he going to attack? He's going to attack with the WRO member because it has a better chance of breaking with Yuffie. Is Ronald going to take that damage? He is. He flips over a monk, and now here comes the Rigdia. Is he going to take that damage as well, or is he going to block? If he blocks, he's in trouble next turn. It's going to break. Oh, there we go. He's going to be in trouble next turn. He's now at 5 points of damage and looking at Fatal on the board. Ronald has to do something to kind of combat what he's seeing right now. Brian has no cards in his hands after using that death penalty. Ronald has a chance to kind of wrestle some board state away here. Brian hasn't played any backups. That legendary Vincent is doing a lot of work for him. Does Ronald have anything in his deck right now to help? He can maybe draw. He gets a chance to play maybe like an Eco into a Steiner, into a Zidane to help flood the board. Not quite sure if he has any. And here's another WRO member. And is Brian going to swing? He's going to swing. Does Ronald have a chance to do anything here? He's got some opportunities to try to save himself. He's going to go ahead and push the Anacro with the Tama. Tama's going to go ahead. He's going to get the Waka in. Waka's going to go ahead and block. He's going to... Brian going to keep swinging here? Yes, he is. He's going to swing. Is he going to swing into that Waka? The Waka's going to block. They're going to trade out. He's going to get a point of damage here. Oh, wait, no, he's not. That WRO member just came out. Right, so Ronald, losing a backup and some cards, is able to stave off Fatal. Does he have an opportunity there? He passes his turn. Brian's going to attack with that WRO member. Is Ronald going to react? He's at 5 points of damage. He's going to take that point. He's at 6. And Brian passes his turn, giving him a chance to combat this fatal damage here from a WR member. He needs to just bring out a forward. Any forward. Anything. Anything that will help him right now to balk. Just so he can kind of reload a little bit. He's let's see what he does. He's going to go ahead and pitch... No, doesn't look like he wants to pitch that card. we've seen Brian, compete in the meta potion circuit. He is a very, very strong player and he's very aggressive. Wow. Ronald brings out a Vincent of his own. Is this going to stonewall Brian? Is he going to be able to match that to do anything here? Does he have, let's see, he has a Robon and a Shantoto in his hand. Looks like he's going to play the Black Mage. He's going to drop Vincent to 4K. He's going to be able to attack with the WRL member, breaking a Vincent because the fact that Black Mage reduces his power. So right now he has to block or he's going to die. He's going to lose the match. But if he does block, he's going to lose a Vincent because it's only effectively 4K. WRL member being a 6K, it's just going to laugh at that extra, that damage and trade up. He's going to go ahead and bounce that back of his hand. He's going to pitch and play the WR Emperor again. Ronald can't really attack right now because he's looking at Fatal. He's going to go ahead and play that Yuffie. He can attack now. The Atomos comes out. No help on that end. Brian off to a really good start. He's getting a bit stonewalled right now. We see what he has in his hand. He's going to go ahead and play the Robon into the Yuffie. He's going to target the Yuffie. He's going to go and say go. Building up his backup line. He's going to have a little bit more options to play here as he moves forward. I like that play. You need to stabilize the board right now. Ronald is using a lot of cards just to stay in this match. So it's good right now. Granted, Brian has no hand. He's top decking right now. So it might behoove him to maybe take a few points of damage and kind of build up his hand to see if he has any more options later on to actually swing in for that last point of damage. Ronald has no forwards to play. He's only got 2 cards in his hand, leaving Brian. If you're giving Lightning a chance, you're just waiting for something. You're just waiting for a 7-drop Odin, or you're just waiting for an Alcid or something. He brings out his Vincent, and now we're just going to play a waiting game right now. Vincent can't be Odin, but he can be Alcid comboed into death because that deals damage. So Ronald needs to deal with this right now because he's going to attack with that Vincent and trade and then swing in with the WR member. If he doesn't bring out a forward this turn or have a way to deal with bouncing one of those forwards back into Brian's hands, he is looking at Fatal. The line of play right now would probably be on Brian's side. If it was his turn, the board state is the way it is to attack with the Vincent, forcing him to block because he's going to lose the match, trading out with his Vincent, and then swinging in with the WR member for Fatal. Does Ronald have anything in his hand or his deck? I mean, we know that Ronald's running a Sildra, Leviathans. He has an Atomos that he can use. He's got outs right now. He's got a lot. If he plays into the Mime, it's going to let him try to maybe draw an out as he party attacks, but he needs a party attack. He doesn't want to do that because if he does, he's going to leave himself wide open for Fatal. So right now, he's going to attack with the Vincent. It's a good move. Either way, he has to block. If he trades out, he's going to trade out. That leaves Mime ready to block the WR member, which is also going to trade, leaving the WR member alive. So right now, this is a very pragmatic attack on Brian's end. Is exactly what you want to do. You want to put your opponent on a situation where they need to make a decision about the forwards or they lose the match. Brian's in the driver's seat right now, and I like the way he's choosing his attacks. Unless Ronald has something that in his hand to play to bounce it back. Wow, pitching 6, he's going to Sildra both of those guys back. Wow, we knew he has Sildra. That's a 1 of in his deck. That's the only one he's got, that just saved him. Brian's been holding on. He's going to play an Alcid into an Onion-Knight. Wow, surprised he didn't just break the Vincent outright with Alcid into the Onion Knight. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's what I would have done. I wonder why he didn't do that. He could break it with damage. So, he draws into an amazing Cyclops. Now he's going to attack. He's going to attack. When he blocks, he's going to Cyclops and then trade. And I think that might be game. Unless Ronald has some way to bounce something back. that Al-Cid combo is going to go right through. He's going to block. There we go. He's going to play that Cyclops to reduce the power. And it's going to trade up. He's going to trade up with that. Vincent now is only effectively a 5k. He's going to lose the Vincent. Onion not going to stay around. And it looks like Al-Cid might be sitting there with lethal damage, just waiting to see how this plays out. Some picture Maria with a Leviathan on the Al-Cid. He's gonna trade. Let's see. Okay, that's the last card he has in hand. He needs to have something out. Popping out an Al-Cid save him fatal, but if Brian draws into another Onion Knight or anything else like that, it's gonna be a hard time. Brian's of course gonna be attacking first before doing anything. It's gonna take that point of damage, and there he goes. That's game. And there we have it. We have Brian taking down Ronald. Again, we see more lightning play here. Very, very interesting to see. Very interesting to see continued lightning play here. And like we said, we're seeing more and more lightning be prevalent in our matches. We saw the Al-Cid Onion Knight combo again. In our previous event coverage, we've seen a lot of Earth. And we transitioned from Earth into lightning, because we noticed a lot of people are noticing that players are playing more water. They're being much more efficient. A lot of guys are coming out quickly, so the only natural answer to that is to play lightning. And we noticed this a lot in this event where lightning is prevalent. We see a lot of players using that because they're making a meta call, because a lot of players are going wide. Things like Golbez and whatnot. So it's really interesting to see that lightning come back to the foreground, as it was very, very early into Opus 2. We see a lot of lightning play, and it's good to see that lightning is still a very strong element, and we're seeing more of that in today's event. So hopefully as we go forward, we'll see somebody else bring something new. We saw Ronald was playing water, which is a good counter to lightning, especially with the Minwu. He wasn't able to get past that Vincent though. The first turn Vincent was just wrecking the field. It was just so hard to get rid of. It's a strong play, it's a gamble, but you know your deck. You're able to kind of make that gamble and still be able to reload your hand and come back. So we hope you enjoyed that match. Again, my name is JT. Welcome to the Break Zone as we get continued coverage of today's Meta Potion Circuit, event number 4. Stay tuned. Stay tuned while we get ready for while we get ready for Swiss number 4, and stay tuned for our post-game interviews with our players from our featured match. And we'll see you guys in just a bit.
Ways.
Alright guys, welcome back to the Break Zone. I'm JT. I'm giving you continued coverage of the Meta Potion Circuit, event number 4. And you guys just saw in our featured match, Brian and Ronald duking it out. Both of these players were 2-0 coming into the match. So I want to talk about some of the decisions that you made. Brian, I've seen you play this many times.
A few.
Yes.
2 or 3.
And Brian's a fantastic. Both of these players are fantastic players. That first turn Vincent, that was a bit of a risk. It paid off.
It did.
It did. So
I also had no choice. I had no backups.
Oh right. So it's like, I'm just gonna do this.
My opening hand was an Al-Cid and an Onion Knight. I don't know what he's playing, so I have to keep for value.
Just for value.
And Vincent's is in the hand too.
Yeah.
And I have no other Earth. So when I rip the WRM off the top, I just have to straight play Vincent.
You just have to straight play Vincent. And it was great because I noticed that you were holding on to a Vincent. You were waiting for the death penalty.
Yeah. Anytime I see a second one, I just try to keep
Right.
it for a while.
So another question I had later in the match, you had the opportunity to, when he brought out his Vincent, my question was, why didn't you play the Al-Cid combo onto the Vincent as opposed to the Odin?
Well, Vincent can't be destroyed by Odin.
Right.
Because it can't be destroyed by anything that doesn't do damage. And he also had Minwu out.
Oh,
so Minwu with Al-Cid turns me off. So as soon as he played the Minwu, my opening hand that is amazing becomes subpar.
Right.
And so I have to just keep it until something I can kill with value comes along.
Got it.
Like a mime or
so talk to me about what was going through your mind when you saw that Vincent hit the table. I mean, If I was on the other side, I'd like, all right, I guess I'm gonna scoop this.
My first thought was because on my local it's a lot of different things, a lot of fire, wind, water, everything. So whenever I see a player, I get kind of excited. Like, okay, I know how they're thinking, and noticing they didn't have any backups, my thought was, let's get some backups on the table. Let's kind of build up a board, and then kind of go from there.
Right, I saw we were doing that. So you build up your backups.
Yeah, BP shouldn't damage, but the trade-off, hopefully in the long game, it works out.
Yeah, right. Okay, I noticed you were playing the long game. However, that's the problem with Vincent. The Vincent doesn't care about the long game because once you get a forward out, or forward to add up to 7, he's going to death penalty. Right?
I know that risk very well.
So like, what other lines of play could you have done to maybe combat that? Because you're going to see Vincent everywhere. He's one of the best cards in the game. So how do you combat that? Like, are you going to race them?
So my big thing as far as mirror matches with Vincent is I'm running the Leviathans for the bounce back. If I can kill him directly, taking him off the table is good enough for me. On top of that,
it's pretty good. I saw the couple of those bounces like really that's so drawing. Ooh,
it was a steep price, but it kept me alive.
But then that made Brian had to make a decision. Okay, who am I going to pitch to play something else? Because I need to.
Exactly. Right. So it's not just the fact that it's off the table. You got to pay stuff to get it back on.
Right.
On top of that, if it's straight up damage, I've got the Robon and the Atomos, which on turn 2, the Robon it hurt extra bad because I had the guy in my hand and I thought, okay, do I want to play the forward and match it, or do I want to keep on with the backup game? And especially knowing I had the Tama, my thought was I can flash on the guy, I could block, I can do something, but I thought, okay, we'll just let it pass. And as soon as I saw the EX burst, it would have changed the whole game around, guy on the table, damage.
I always forget how good Tama is.
Tama is amazing.
It's really good.
She's spectacular, especially from my side when I get her and can do I'll sit on the opponent's turn.
Right.
It hurts extra bad.
Good. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. It was a really good risk. Really good risk. I mean, it might have been your only play, but that's the best play of the game. The first turn. Vincent is so hard to deal with.
Especially.
How can you pump out 8,000 points of damage? Turn 2, 3 before you're taking point damage.
I always fear that the other side of the table is another ousted combo.
Right, you're like, oh man.
Or a turn 1, if I hear if I hear water, I fear a turn 1 EX burst fan it, and
you saw the water.
Turn 1 fan it, I just cry.
Right. So, hey guys, thank you for joining me. My name is JT at the Break Zone. I'm giving you live coverage of the Meta Potion circuit here. We have Brian and Ronald. By the way, I love your shirt, Brian. All right. Oh my, yes. And so, we hope you guys enjoy watching the games. It's great to always hear about the players and how their thought processes throughout the game. And thank you guys for coming in. Say hi to YouTube world. Thank you for coming in and talking to us about your match. And I'm sure I'm going to see you guys top 8 cuts or top 4s or not. So I wish you guys the best of luck as you continue on today's events. And guys, stay tuned for Swiss Round 4s, and we'll be back in just a little bit.